Et l'ordre du jour appelle à présent la déclaration de la vice-présidente de la Commission haute représentante de l'Union pour les affaires étrangères et la politique de sécurité, le rôle de l'Union européenne dans les efforts en faveur de la paix et de la stabilité dans l'ensemble du Proche-Orient après l'annonce de l'accord entre les États-Unis et l'Iran. Je tiens à rappeler aux intervenants que, compte tenu des mesures de test actuellement en place que nous venons d'éprouver et de leur impératif de fin du débat, il sera nécessaire de respecter strictement le temps de parole. Je souhaite la bienvenue à Madame la haute représentante et vice-présidente Kaja Kallas et j'ai le plaisir de lui donner la parole. Merci.
Dear President, honorable members, for the past 2 days, there have been grounds for cautious optimism regarding the situation in the Middle East. The announcement of the deal between the United States and Iran to end the war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz could be a breakthrough. It has the potential to create space for deeper talks on other critical issues, including Iran's nuclear program and regional stability. And once fully implemented, this agreement should also contribute to easing pressures on global energy markets. While the details regarding the scope and timeline of the MOU are still emerging, one thing is clear. For any settlement to be sustainable, it must be fully consistent with the international law and implementation must be verifiable. The Strait of Hormuz has to become again open and toll-free. I commend the mediation efforts led by Pakistan and Qatar, as well as the constructive engagement of Oman, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt. Their diplomacy has been essential in preventing an all-out war and arriving at the deal. Honourable members, in recent days, I've been speaking with many of my counterparts from these countries to explore how the EU can contribute to the next phase. From economic leverage and technical expertise on nuclear issues to broader diplomatic engagement, the EU stands ready to support a sustainable resolution that advances regional stability while protecting our interests and security. It is evident, however, that the most difficult phase of this process still lies ahead. The EU rejects any measures that would impose additional costs to the maritime shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Moreover, we coordinate with partners worldwide to maintain a cohesive front against any attempt to limit freedom of navigation and weaken international law. Just last week, the Council adopted new listings targeting those involved in Iran's actions threatening freedom of navigation. In parallel, our defensive naval operation Aspides continues to protect shipping in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, another key area to assert the freedom of navigation. Yemen's Houthis continue to pose a dangerous threat to shipping. And this is why we now have a record number of ships on patrol in the area, and we will remain vigilant. Beyond Iran, the situation in Lebanon remains highly fragile and requires continued international attention as a comprehensive deal is implemented. The ceasefire between Lebanon and Israel must hold as it is an opportunity to end the conflict, give diplomacy a chance, and create the conditions for sustainable de-escalation. We will continue to support the Lebanese authorities, in particular in their determination to disarm Hezbollah. Civilian populations in Israel and Lebanon deserve peace and stability. We must also maintain our full attention on the situation in Gaza and in the West Bank. Israel's latest plan to rapidly expand West Bank settlements are not in line with the international law and further undermine the prospects of a two-state solution. Regarding the trade with illegal settlements, yesterday at the Foreign Affairs Council, a large number of member states called for concrete proposals from the Commission, and several said that they would want to work on proposals which give clarity on different possible ways forward. I will convey this request at the College meeting and ask the Commission to prepare, ahead of the next Foreign Affairs Council, a list of options for possible trade measures, including measures aimed at preventing imports of goods originating from illegal settlements. I will also seek the Commission assessment on the scope of issues related to the rules of origin, another point raised by the Member States. The EU remains steadfast in its support for the two-state solution as the only viable path to sustainable end to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and to lasting peace and security in the Middle East. Regional normalization is a powerful incentive and should be accompanied by progress between Israelis and Palestinians. We see no progress in the implementation of the Gaza peace plan, but the humanitarian crisis in Gaza is growing. We cannot wait longer. That is why the EU calls for the immediate and unhindered flow of humanitarian aid into Gaza and will support early recovery as soon as conditions allow. Hamas needs to decommission its weapons, and border crossings need to be reopened fully, in line with the comprehensive plan. Dear President, honorable members, from Gaza to Lebanon, from Red Sea to the Strait of Hormuz, the EU will continue working with all partners to advance peace, security, and prosperity for the benefit of our citizens and the people of the Middle East alike. I thank you for your support and look forward to the debate. Thank you.
Herzlichen Dank. Für die